Haryana's strong base in digital connectivity has become a boon for the IT and service industry, with companies like Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, TCS, Cisco, all establishing a strong presence here. Its software parks have made Haryana a global BPO hub, employing 5% of the total worldwide workforce in this sector and ranking it as the third largest exporter of software from India. Along with education and training facilities, Haryana is fast working towards becoming the foremost facilitator of qualified and skilled manpower. The state is also a part of the mega initiative of the Government of India's Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. About two-thirds of Haryana is under the DMIC influence zone and is expected to witness growth by 14 times over a period of 30 years. Major initiatives planned: the Southern Haryana Investment Region, a mass rapid transit system MRTS between Gurgaon, Manesar, Bawal, and Global City Project in Gurgaon district.
Haryana is a very important state for Coca-Cola. We've got 3 bottling plants. In the last 5 years, we have put up 2 bottling plants. We are committed to invest $5 billion up to 2020. We've got immense cooperation from HSIDC.
Dell has just completed 10 years in the state of Haryana. We chose Gurgaon as a destination. We have a fairly large presence of employee base in Gurgaon. The new government has been very supportive. We've had collaborative sessions. We've partnered with them on various issues, and we look forward to growing and expanding in the state of Haryana.
A foreign investment and NRI cell has been set up to address investment-related issues of foreign investors and non-resident Indians. It is with this vision of balanced regional and sustainable development, employment generation and inclusive growth, the Government of Haryana has formulated, under the dynamic leadership of Mr. Manohar Lal, Chief Minister Haryana, the new Industrial Investment and Business Promotion Policy of 2015. The new policy seeks global investments by providing an environment for ease of doing business in Haryana state. The Make in India, Digital India, and Skilling India campaigns launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, are the landmark initiatives and are reflected in the industrial growth strategy of the state. The forward-looking policy provides for online and time-bound approvals under one roof, all project-related approvals within 2 months, relationship managers for hand-holding the mega projects, services relating to industries notified under the Right to Service Act, services to be delivered through the e-Biz portal, creation of Foreign Investment Promotion Board, facilitation through e-governance. The cornerstone of the policy is minimum government and maximum governance. So, if you have a penchant for success, a vision to achieve, and want to see it realized without much ado in the shortest possible time frame, then just walk into Haryana. Well-located and economically viable land, planned infrastructure that supports business, a thriving industrial belt, a skilled and educated workforce, and industry-friendly governance. Haryana has it all and more. We invite you to be our partner in progress in this exciting and adventurous journey of development. DMIC projects, industrial model townships, logistics hub, entertainment parks, solar energy parks, mega investment scheme with a customized package of incentives awaits you.
हरियाणा अपार अवसरों और आर्थिक संभावनाओं का एक भरपूर प्रगतिशील राज्य है। ये राष्ट्रीय राजधानी दिल्ली को 3 ओर से घिरता है। यहाँ बेहतरीन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और कनेक्टिविटी उपलब्ध है। वास्तव में 500 फॉर्चून कंपनियों में से 200 कंपनियां यहाँ पहले से विद्यमान हैं। हमने अभी हाल ही में नई उद्यम प्रोत्साहन नीति घोषित की है और इस नीति के अनुसार हम यहाँ समयबद्ध तरीके से सरकार की स्वीकृतियाँ करने के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूँ। आपको हर संभव सहायता उपलब्ध करवाई जाएगी। आप आइए हरियाणा में और इसके विकास में आप भी भागीदार बनिए।
1895, when modern engineering was just beginning its journey in India. 5 engineering companies came together to form the Engineering and Iron Trades Association in Kolkata. In 1922, when the first Indian steel plant started production, the EITA evolved into the Indian Engineering Association. Successfully steering Indian industry after independence, it combined with the Engineering Association of India in a historic merger in 1974 to form the Association of Indian Engineering Industry, shifting its base from Kolkata to the capital city, New Delhi. AIEI was rechristened the Confederation of Engineering Industry in 1986, and in 1992 it took on its current name, the Confederation of Indian Industry, or CII. Always ahead of the curve, CII has since then adeptly navigated industry through the era of economic liberalization and globalization. Today, CII represents a large number of enterprises from private as well as public sectors, including SMEs and MNCs. National, regional, and sectoral industry associations find a platform in their affiliation with CII. CII is the voice of Indian industry. As a nodal point for industry, nationally and globally, CII represents all sectors: manufacturing, infrastructure, services, and agri. It reaches out to a broad base of member companies and indirect members through a geographically diversified network of offices in industry, proactive interventions in stepping stones, and through intellectually sound change management capabilities. CII has retained its relevance and its premier position in India's business landscape. CII services rest on 4 broad pillars: policy advocacy, business development services, developing competitiveness solutions, and connecting with society. For policy advocacy, CII focuses on the creation of a facilitative environment for Indian industry to constantly strengthen its role in national development. CII partners with the central government and state governments in drafting and implementing policies for inclusive and sustainable growth. Drawing on the collective experience of its large member base in the form of expert councils, committees, and task forces, CII brings formidable perspectives for evolving solutions to complex issues. In the area of business development, CII facilitates access to enormous domestic and international business opportunities by organizing business fairs, conferences and seminars, buyer-seller meets, and trade and business missions. Landmark events in this area include the IETF, XCon, Auto Expo, IMME, IREE, and Agrotech, to name just a few. Every year, CII organizes intellectual forums in India and overseas, including the Indian delegation to Davos. CII plays a key role in creating international business opportunities by facilitating access to overseas markets, showcasing India's capabilities through trade fairs, creating B2B and B2G platforms, and engaging with a vision to enable India make substantial progress towards achieving water security by 2022. The Institute aims at transforming water conservation and water resources management by changing the mindset and behavior of stakeholders, working right from the grassroots and upward. As a pioneer in capacity building in water resource management, the Institute offers training, education, and capacity development through certificate courses for water and wastewater operators. These courses have been developed in partnership with GIZ and the German Association for Water, Wastewater and Waste. The Institute
manufacturing, compliances, export and import, and many others enable industries to acquire the leading guidance and precision. With My Account section, business users can not only customize their company profile, but their preferences in terms of industry, country, state, frequency of the updates and alerts as well. Not only this, mycii.in delivers personalized and customized alerts in your inbox, which makes it easy for the members to update themselves. Quite rightly then, mycii.in is an online business resource center that provides a world of opportunities for industries. Download CII app in your phone and get access to knowledge, information updates, networking and finance facilitation through mycii.in. MyCII.in provides unlimited access to the CII members so that all the departments
This fourth edition will receive the previous editions to enable the states in particular to capitalize on the investment opportunities and position itself on the forefront of global economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 1 year, 1.5 years in fact, we have witnessed a slew of reforms by the new government with the aim to boost industrial growth and improve business confidence. The emphasis of the government has been on rapidly improving ease of doing business, reviving manufacturing and launching fresh initiatives like Make in India, Digital India and Skill India, streamlining environment and forest clearances, labor reforms, inclusions, and trying to remove all the critical constraints which is holding investment. To attract investment in a country, the government has relaxed overseas investment norms for sectors including railways, defense, construction and medical services. Similarly, FDI cap in defense and insurance have been increased while the railways infrastructure have been opened to foreign investment. The measure taken will make it attractive for the foreign companies to set up manufacturing facilities in the sectors and support employment generation. Aided by these reforms measures, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has also projected that India will grow at a steady rate of 7.5% in 2015 and 16. For the first time since 1999, India may outgrow China and its BRIC peers. Investment is necessary for the development of any country. Investment is to provide the business-friendly environment to attract that investment. Countries like UAE or Singapore have built their entire economy on outside investment, just providing the required environment without any resource at its disposal. demographic dividend. We must be able to attract investment, and this forum is to discuss such possibilities in the northern states. The very conducive countries, and is taking place in the most developing country with the highest growth rate amongst the larger developing countries. We need to convince the foreign investors about the potential India has in the long run and the sound fundamentals which has weathered the 2008 crisis without any harm to its country. I'm sure India can be the gateway to the West for both produce and for human resource. Honorable dignitaries, the northern region comprises of 8 states: Delhi, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and the Union Territory of Chandigarh. And it is the largest region in the country. The region has a plethora of investment opportunities for the national and international investors. Thus, we at CII Northern Region have adopted the theme Build India, Build North, Invest in Development. We have been actively working towards building a conducive ecosystem for accelerating economic growth, which facilitates investments in the region critical for generation of employment opportunities and catalyze the Indian economy. One such endeavor in this region,
Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Shrimati Shri Manohar Ji, Chief Minister Haryana, Shri Sukhpreet Singh Badal Ji, Deputy Chief Minister Punjab, my colleagues on the dais, excellencies, distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would also like to North Conference across all the states to be able to bring stakeholders from business, from the community, from the media, and from the government collectively together to deliberate and to discuss what we are doing within each state, but more importantly, how we are optimally growing within the north, which really comprises of close to 30% of our population, and also is a very significant driver for growth and economic activity. We've also been able to be a very strong contributor in terms of investments for the country and also for inbound investments that come into the northern region. But clearly the last few years in terms of the deliberations, the conversations have led to changes in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of creating a single window clearance mechanism in many of the states, and also for fresh investments and a significant amount of interest coming into different states. As we look at this year's edition for Invest North, as Mr. Somani had mentioned, the focus is driven on Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, which has a long amount of an investment corridor which is passing through the north, and also the various dedicated freight corridors enabled to bring fresh investments and enhance existing investments in our states. I think the central government, with our Prime Minister at the helm, has been very forthcoming in terms of his initiatives at a government level to be able to drive India at a manufacturing level for Make in India. And we've seen over the last 15 months what the Prime Minister is leading and driving to build and strengthen the India that we live in to be a more vibrant and a strong nation and a more engaged nation globally. I certainly believe at a state level in the northern region there is huge opportunity for growth and a lot more in terms of what we can do and how we can harness these investments over the next many years. We have seen various state governments look at a very significant amount of administrative reforms. We have examples of leaders here from Punjab and Haryana, and we have seen the kind of development and growth that's happened under their leadership in these states, as they also represent being the chief ministers, but really when one engages with them, when one hears them talk and one sees them execute on what they want to do, they are truly behaving and living lives like a global chief executive would do, which I think all of us resonate and recognize. So we clearly look forward to hearing them, understanding from them their vision for their states and how we can be partners of the state in terms of bringing investment going and making life for us for development and growth. Over the next 2 days, not only would there be state sessions across each state where the leadership in the states would be talking and having presentations in terms of where they are and what they are doing, but there will be a significant amount of opportunities for areas which are of national importance for us in terms of skilling, in terms of e-commerce, in terms of more importantly in terms of manufacturing services, and these programs would go hand in hand with the state presentation that will be happening. Like last year, we've also focused on ensuring that there is a very substantial amount of opportunity for people in business, for existing investors, for new investors to be able to interact with the leadership teams at the state levels as well, and thereby having an opportunity to debate and discuss and explore opportunities either for fresh investments or for looking at addressing solutions of the existing challenges that may be there. I also want to make sure that as we are looking at InvestNorth, we are not really here in terms of talking and complaining and just looking at the problems that we may have or the problems that we may need fixed, but I think more importantly, really having a solution-oriented mindset where we are talking about what our solutions are, what our suggestions are, and more than just kind of asking states in terms of what we want from them. I think it's also important for us as representatives of industry, as people from the northern region, as stakeholders with our investments in these markets, of what is it we can provide as solutions, of what is it that we will contribute and bring up and say, look, this is an opportunity where we can partner with you, where we can do things, and we are an equally responsible state citizen and a national citizen as a true Indian of what we are going to do to enable the growth, to bring the investments and make the difference and take advantage of the opportunity that lies there. So it's not only an opportunity for us to hear them, but more important for us also to be an equal partner in this journey of making these
30% of India's population. But in terms of consumption, it has a larger base than 30%. It's also home to 3 states, Delhi, Chandigarh, and Haryana, which are in the current list of 10 high-income states of the country. Together, a number of these factors put together contribute to a potential which we truly need to take full advantage of as industry and as investors. So the opportunity to run companies, it's as much for Indians. And that's what the beauty is, that the opportunities are available to all of us. And we need to figure out a way how we take best advantage of what's available to us. But we do want to leave this with the state leaderships, that this is an area in which industry and government need to work together to ensure that each one of us individually and all of us collectively build in North India what India wants to be amongst the leading places to do business in. As I mentioned, our own experience across the states in North India has been an outstanding experience. We've done business in Punjab, in Haryana, in Rajasthan, in Uttarakhand on actual manufacturing, but our distribution and sales has been right across the board. So we've seen the states working from pretty close up, and we believe the potential is much larger than any of us have tapped yet. And I wish all of you good luck, and I hope the deliberation in this conference will open new opportunities for those who are not here, and certainly new opportunities for those who already are here. Thank you very much, and welcome once again.
Thank you, Sunil, for outlining the potential that lies in the north, and the fact that it's about time, and now the time is ripe, that industry and government should work together very closely to really harness the true potential that lies here. Punjab is one of the progressive states, and we would love to hear Mr. Badal and his views.
Next is this one.
Yes, sir. Niche wala bhi kar do.
Niche or this one?
This one also, sir. This one also.
Just stand next to me. Respected Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Minister for State, Independent Charge, Government of India, Mr. Manohar Lal ji, Chief Minister of Haryana, Mr. Shrikant Somne, Chairman, Joint Managing Director, Hero Motors Corporation Limited, Mr. Richard Rekhi, Co-Chairman, InvestNon, I'd like to congratulate CIA and the Invest North organizers for bringing together all investors and industrialists together in one platform and giving the opportunity to states to present their case. World is becoming one. Today, for an investor, he can go to any part of the world. For the investor, he needs to see opportunities. It is not the situation what it was 25 years back, where in India was a license Raj. If I had a state had a textile manufacturing license, so the investor had no choice. He had to go to that state if he wanted to put up a project. Backward region, the investor had no choice. Today it's come the opposite. The investor has become the king. And I was telling somebody my last meeting, times have changed so much. Today the chief minister is running behind the investors. Office 20 years back. The investors actually are benefiting a lot, but they started taking advantage also a lot. I remember there was one big company comes to the chief minister's house in Chandigarh. I and my father were sitting. They said, we want to invest X amount of crores in your state. What do you have to offer? So we got all our staff together and his officers, and he gave a wish list. I want this, 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 this. So we said, okay, fine. We said, okay, we'll give this, this, this. He said, give me in writing. I said, okay. We gave him writing. He goes to Haryana Chief Minister's house. And he told him, this is what the Punjab government has offered. Now, can you better it? So the Haryana Chief Minister sits down and said, okay, I have to beat Punjab to it. He starts off, okay, better than this, better than this, better than this. He gets out of Haryana Chief Ministers. He goes to the UP Chief Minister's house. By the end of it, he comes after a circle of 2 months. The last Chief Minister has to actually give him everything plus cash to build his factory. So that is the situation. But actually, this level of competition should also not be there, that the states start bleeding and there's no advantage to any state. But today, as you know, it's an investor's world, so you are the king. Regarding investment, today, India is the biggest market in the world. We are the fastest growing economy. Recently, I was in Poland. I had a meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister there. And he was telling me very proudly that Poland has become a hub for manufacturing and export to all the European countries. And they were saying we're supplying to 29 countries. And I asked him, I told him, instead of going to 29 countries, meeting 29 heads of state, meeting so many different governments, different languages, I said, India is one country. The market of India, I said, you add the complete market of add the Russian market to it, add America to it, India population is bigger than that. So if you look at India, India itself is a very big market for our investors. We keep on looking at exports. Let's first develop our nation. Develop a market. We have such a big potential in our market to expand. State, let's look at 4, 5 things, 6 things. If you look at the chart, these are the 5, 6 things which every investor looks at if he wants to invest. Power availability, air road connectivity, labor relations in the state, skill availability, incentives, the land bank, and the last and the most important, ease of doing business. Now, any state which will be able to provide all 5 of them, 6 of them, is a winner. Whichever state does not provide these things is going to lose the game. And it's now, as I said, 29 states competing against each other. All chief ministers, all governments, their balance sheets have to show how much investment they have got in their state every year. So every state now is moving, trying to fulfill all these gaps. When we took over 8 years back, my father took over as the chief minister. The first meeting, first day, what we did was, we called our office team and he asked us, what are the weaknesses of a state and what are the strengths of a state? Unless you are not able to identify your weaknesses and cannot remove them, and if you're not able to identify your strengths and take advantage of them, you cannot take your state ahead. So we looked at all our weaknesses. State of Punjab is a landlocked state. As you said, north. States in the south have a natural advantage over us because they have deep ports. And today, trade is the cheapest from ports. So we looked at us, we have said, what should we do to make our state the best destination? What should we do that this becomes the best attractive destination? So keeping everything in mind, we got the data of all states. We said, these are the 6 parameters where we have to be number 1 in the country. So we started off with first parameter, power. When we took over, there were huge shortages of power in our state. Our power corporation was in a bad shape. We were in huge losses. We had problems, even a power corporation, to pay salaries. And there were power cuts, nobody wanted, and even a distribution network was very bad. We couldn't, even if we had power, even then we couldn't supply to our farmers and the people of our state. We said, okay, we have to make our power surplus, plus we have to have the best distribution network. Just generating power is one part of it. The bigger, most important part is to create an infrastructure to distribute the power to the last village, or last house in their state. And we said, okay, we went on a mission, and I must happily tell you that we made an investment of more than $5 billion in our power generation sector and our transmission sector. And today, after 8 years, we are a power surplus state. And besides that, where you can put up a factory even in the border of Pakistan with India, remotest, you will get as much power as you want, 24 hours power as you want, within a week. That's the level of infrastructure we're able to get. And I must tell you, a power corporation of ours, which was in bankrupt, today, this year has been declared by Government of India the best power utility of this country. We are, with our utility, is making profits. We are touching 1,000 crore profit in a power utility. It's a government power utility which is making money. That's the level of transformation we have brought in this. So in the case of the first, our mission, we have been very successful. And I was talking to my colleagues today that our biggest problem is now we want to sell power. We are creating a full division, how to sell power and export power. I was even requesting the Prime Minister, if Pakistan was in need for power and there was a talk, I said, we can offer power not even there to any other countries which want to get power from us because we have that much surplus. Now it comes to the second point, road connectivity. What happens is, what you see in majority of the states in the country, majority of the states in the country build one city, like you go to Hyderabad. Hyderabad is beautiful, but you get to go 20 minutes out of Hyderabad, you'll think, which country are you in? Same with Bangalore, same with Pune. We made a mission that every part of Punjab should be the best connected. I said, how do we do it? My basic philosophy is, in my government and my philosophy and our CM, Chief Minister's philosophy is, you think big, you'll achieve big. So we said, as I started off with that we'll make power surplus, we did it. And I said, every town of a state has to be connected with 4 to 6 lane expressways. It was a big mission. But I must tell you, by end of this year, coming 2016, just look at this map. The blue ones are, which are 4 lanes already completed. Green ones are, which are construction is going on. And the red ones are where the tenders have gone on, the construction is starting next month. And yellow ones are where land acquisition going on. 1 year from now, look at this map. Anywhere you go in Punjab, you'll be traveling only in 4 to 6 lane expressway. And I'm the only state which will connect every town of our state crisscross with 4 to 6 lane expressway. We have been able to accomplish. Now comes to Punjab is landlocked, like Haryana, like Uttar Pradesh. How do we connect to the world? Only ways, if you can't have ports, you have airports. So we made it a mission. Look at the size of Punjab, small. We got now 2 international airports. Second one, which is in Mohali, is the Honorable Prime Minister is inaugurating it tomorrow. And the 3 domestic airports. We are planning to add 1 more domestic. We're talking to Government of India. So if you look at the map, if you want to put up a project, 1.5 hours driving from anywhere in Punjab, you can touch an airport. This is the level of connectivity we have been able to achieve, and I don't think so any state has been able to do that. Now comes to the third most important pillar of investment is industrial relations, labor issues, strikes. Punjab is one state. Mr. Munjal is sitting here. He can vouch for it. You will never, ever, ever, ever hear of a strike in Punjab. Punjabis don't believe in strikes. Nor does the government let them strike. Very clear funda. Last 30 years I've been in politics. I have never heard of a strike, a unit closing. You may have problems that they want to work longer, but not shutting down a plant. This is the biggest, and I must declare, by end of this year, I am going to officially announce that no inspector can enter a factory in our state. All these inspectors, all these rules, regulations were formed during the British time. The Britishers ruled the country. They did not trust Indian citizens. They wanted to put checks and balances to ensure Indian citizens do not flourish. Today is our government, our people's government. Why shouldn't we trust citizens? We have formed, in my government, we have formed a special ministry known as Administrative Reforms Ministry. And I am the minister concerned. What's the whole job of the ministry is? Change all obsolete laws, all laws. And you'll be shocked the changes we have brought about. You'll be shocked. You know, a boiler inspector, He got educated 30 years back when the boilers were of different quality and different size, and the same boiler inspector has to certify the latest boilers. He haven't seen those boilers in his life. Why do you need those inspectors? Why can't the industry do a self-certification? Can you imagine an MPI has to certify the roadworthiness of a Mercedes car? I don't think so. In his life he sat in a Mercedes car. So why? We have eliminated recently in Parliament, they are abolishing affidavits to certify your degrees. You wanted a job or you wanted any application, a gazetted officer had to sign, authenticate your degree. That gazetted officer never knew you. He never saw your original, nothing. Why do you need a gazetted officer? Why can't the citizen himself say this is his genuine degree? If he's caught, he'll be punished. But why do you have to distrust him from point one? Our basic philosophy in our government is trust the citizen. And that is why I'm saying that by end of this year, we worked a lot of laws have changed, and a lot of laws are going to be changed. And the biggest incentive we have done is we are making everything online. By our whole state government will be online, paperless government. This is the level of online things we are doing. Department. We have come out with a new concept of law and a new 1st of January 2016. And after 1st of January 2016, I will officially declare no citizen of a state will have to do this. Not by government officials, it's outsourced. Like you see that today passport is outsourced by a different company. That in terms of the fourth item is human resources. We have now one of the best institutes have opened in our state. You have IMM, Amritsar, IITs, Indian School of Business, Thapad, and the universities. A lot of them, the institutes are coming there. And if you look at it, the life 6 years, if you want to link longer, just move to our side of Punjab. Because the pollution levels are so high here. Now let's come to is incentives. Sanu banna kenna hai. Every state has its own policy. What I looked into all the policies of states.
I am happy that the CIA has taken the initiative to organize 4th Invest North, this 2015 conclave. This forum will definitely pave the way towards reinforcing the focus on Haryana and facilitating interaction among all shareholders to make the state a preferred investment destination. Today, Haryana is counted amongst the most developed and industrial states in India. Haryana is the leading manufacturer of cranes, two-wheelers, cars, excavators, footwears, scientific instruments. We enjoy a great strategic advantage at Haryana surrounds the national capital, as I have told earlier, Delhi territory on 3 sides, and nearly 57% of the state falls under national capital region. Haryana has the highest per capita income amongst the largest states in India, and state GDP is growing at the rate of 7.8% annually. We have excellent connectivity with the rest of the nation through air, rail, and road network. The law and order situation in the state is excellent, which provides the right atmosphere for the industry to nurture and grow. Ample land bank is available with us for the industry with 24/7 on-demand power availability. Haryana also has a geostrategic location advantage. The people of Haryana are industrious and focused, and our youth have the zeal, skill, and attitude of world beaters. To propel the state to a high level of trajectory, path-breaking enterprises promotion policy 2015. This policy envisions growth of the state GDP at a rate higher than catalyzing the investment of $15.6 to the micro, small, and medium enterprises, that is MSME sectors. Be required to pay any state tax up to annual turnover of rupees 3 crore for 3 years.
up to 25% plots in HSI-DC industrial estates would be earmarked for identified that sport. MP was held 5 years back. We have got cleared this long KMP project, that's Kundli Manesar Express Way, that was stalled for last many years. In fact, work commenced on Palwal Manesar section, and very soon work will also start on Kundli Manesar section, which will be completed within 2.5 years. This project will help in decongestion of National Capital Territory of Delhi, as traffic from the northern part of the country to other regions need not pass through NCT of Delhi, thus reducing pollution tremendously. Will develop sector-specific hubs along the KMP Express corridor. Friends, Haryana provides a very conducive ecosystem for growth of enterprises, and I invite you all to invest in Haryana. We shall appoint relationship managers for you who will handhold you through the entire project life cycle. I also assure you of hassle-free business environment and wholehearted support of my government. You are to inform only, rest we will do. I am happy to announce that we are organizing a global investors summit in the name of Happening Haryana early next year in 2016 in Gurgaon. I invite you be the part of the summit. I once again thank CII for inviting me here and for giving me the opportunity to share my views and vision. Thank you very much. Allar Rumba Nandri. Thank you.
रावत जी, थैंक यू सो मच. मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि आपने कहा वट वृक्ष, तो हरियाणा के वट वृक्ष के नीचे बहुत हैं, और मैं समझता हूँ इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद और बहुत आएंगे. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, sir. Before we move forward, we have a pleasant task, and we've got this theme paper for the conference, which we would like to be released. The moment has come for what we've been waiting for. We've heard of philosophies of progress, how things are going to emerge in the different states, which we're going to hear later in the afternoon. But then, the pillar of foundation is in the central polity and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And who could be better than Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to take us through what the philosophy from the central government is.
Good afternoon, everybody. Shri Shrikant Somani ji, who's the chairman of the CII Northern Region. The Chief Minister of Haryana, Manohar Lal ji. Sukhbir Singh Badal ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Punjab. Malvinder Singh ji, Chairman Invest North 2015. Vikendra Pal Singh ji, distinguished gathering, investors, captains of industry, media, and the invited guests. I congratulate and appreciate the Confederation of Indian Industry for organizing this 4th edition of a unique thing, the potential that exists in these states, which I think contribute nearly 30% of the Indian GDP. A depressing world where demands don't rise, where growth nowhere, even in the developed part of the developed world, growth doesn't seem to cross 2%. However, the region that we are talking about, India itself is a large market, but the region that we are talking about has a distinct demographic advantage. Nearness to the capital, national capital, is a big advantage again. And we from the Department of Industries and Policy very clearly want to engage with all the stakeholders, ensure that states get the maximum advantage of all the investments which are coming into the country, which incidentally, I don't need to repeat a whole detail of statistics. FDIs coming into this country post the Make in India initiative that we've started. I've earlier given figures as to what exactly is the amount, but it has seen over a 40% growth. When we're talking in the CII context of the northern region, we are talking about obviously the national capital region, Delhi, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and the Union Territory of Chandigarh. As I said, they account for 30.7% of the total area of India and a population of 385 million, which is a huge potential workforce that can be tapped into. I did say that it was about 30% contribution to the GDP. Exact figures, I think, was in 2013-14 was 26%, but growing to reach 30. And the GDP of the northern region grew by about 7.7% during the period 2004 to 2014. And the national growth was 7.6. In other words, this region has always kept in pace with the national growth. And the kind of sectors that we are talking about when you're talking about industry in this region are very diverse, and therefore giving a chance for all of us to see the potential that exists here. You're talking of auto components, defense production, aerospace, railways, capital goods and engineering, pharmaceuticals, textiles, steel, cement, agro-processing, consumer products, tourism, renewable energy, particularly when you're talking about solar and hydropower, IT-enabled services, retail, real estate, construction, healthcare, education. I'm not sure if anything is left behind. So there's just that kind of a potential available in this region, and therefore investing in this region gives you an opportunity which probably doesn't exist in one area anywhere other than in this region. Of course, what is the central government doing about tapping this potential which exists? I'd certainly keep talking about the Make in India campaign, about which a lot has been said, and I'm glad a lot is happening in it. Under it, a lot of mindset change is what we were talking about. Under it, we were talking about new processes which have to come in. Now, much before I go into the favorite 5 which made what is Make in India, you've heard the Chief Minister, you've heard the Deputy Chief Minister, who've all said what specific things they've done. And those specific things are the ones which are the spirit behind Make in India. Remove the red tape, make it simpler. The ease of doing business can be defined in very many different ways, but essentially, the state has to become a facilitator. We, sitting in the commerce or industries here, can certainly firm up policies, But it is at the states that the grassroots level changes will have to be seen, where I'm glad the Deputy Chief Minister of Punjab spoke about boilers. And that's the first thing I remember signing as soon as I took over as minister. Self-certification is a very important thing, not just for boiler inspections, but it can start from there. Many of these regulatory and inspection-related activities will have to be cut down. And that's the spirit behind Make in India. And I'm glad many of the states, particularly Punjab and Haryana, have gone into details of understanding where this has to be brought about. In this context, I'll certainly now share something which many of us are waiting for. After the launch of Make in India, and in December, when states were all brought on board, after intensive toing and froing on a lot of preparatory work, in December, when the states came over to Delhi and we spoke to them, they also gave us a picture of what is happening. There were 98 different specific things which were suggested to the state governments, each given a deadline, a timeline on its own, and cumulatively, 30th June was set as the target for clearing up hurdles under those 98 different categories so that states can stand up and say, we've removed those obstacles to ease of doing business, and we as a state are ready to face any test if we are not investor friendly. And I'm glad to say the competitive spirit with which Punjab and Haryana have spoken today is the way in which, in a healthy sense, states have involved themselves to remove those obstacles. And the World Bank, together with a private professional agency, have been going through a rigorous process of understanding how effectively this has been implemented in the states. And based on that, just as the World Bank would rank states, countries, just as the World Bank would look at various countries based on some kind of an indicator as to which is far more convenient for investors to go in, which country occupies a better position in terms of ease of doing business, and rank countries. I remember this debate last year as to why India is so poorly fared in it. And we came up with a slew of steps, post which this year we hope India would be ranked better. But in the process, we brought in the World Bank together with a private professional agency. With this set of deadline given to the states, these agencies and the World Bank together have gone through the process, and I understand within this week, at the earliest is what I was saying, but now I think I'm confident enough to say within this week, the ranking of the Indian states from the point of view of ease of doing business will be out. Government of India is not doing it. It's certainly a World Bank initiative. A complete professional agency was engaged with them to go through the processes which each of the states have claimed, and based on which they're going to be ranked on which state ranks better. This might be the first year. Many of the states have had their own difficulties, but all of them have equally been encouraged by this whole step, and I think that's a very good beginning. This ranking today is going to show you that Indian states are now becoming conscious that they no longer can be a red tape-ridden state. And that itself is going to help in changing the mood for investors, and I'm glad most of you here are conscious that you're going to be looking at states for all that they're doing. And this initiative by the CIA, therefore, is going to be very important for states to project themselves for what they actually are. And of course, the central government, other than, of course, forming the policy, is investing in a big way for boosting the infrastructure facility in the country, enabling long-pending projects for infrastructure to be cleared sooner and putting money where it is required. I remember my senior colleague Nitin Gadkari ji telling me that I might be spending money on these projects, but today the contractors are not coming over to take these jobs because payments from the earlier days have been pending, or many of them have been disqualified. Those kind of issues have also had to be sorted out, and I'm glad those are now out of our window. They are now very clearly moving ahead with providing infrastructure investment, and the National Infrastructure Investment foundation which is being formed, NIIF, will enable this whole process in the way that there will be a long-term funding provision which will be available for infrastructure. And within a year after this government coming, we have ensured that power distribution and power generation are given equal importance. And today India can claim overall that there's surplus power available, but the demand is not picking up. And my colleague Piyush Goyal is ensuring that he will make sure that this anomaly is soon sorted out. So it's not as if that the government is just making policies, it's ensuring that infrastructure, power security, energy security, as while India can be so that we as exporters are able to get best of market access abroad. So our international trade negotiations are conscious of greater market access that we may need, that our manufacturers may need. So attention is being paid even for that. Given all this, without taking much of your time, I only welcome this initiative of the CII, and I invite all the investors to, as the Prime Minister said a day ago when he was in consultation with all the captains of industry, industry should push forward now. The government in the last 1 year has taken every initiative to show that we are going to be facilitators. We shall invest where the money is needed, public money is needed, and we shall move forward to provide you with infrastructure and energy. But it is ultimately your call. You have to choose your destination. You have to invest. You have to take the risk, and you will have to seek the government only where it is necessary. But it is you to capitalize on this Indian domestic market, the demographic dividend with which you can produce, with which you can compete globally, and with which your export will be far more competitive. And therefore, I seek the initiative of the industry, particularly in this context of this CII Invest North meet, to be a bit more risk-taking, because India is a very safe place. Your market is ensured. As the global demand would pick up, you shall also find markets abroad. I thank the CII for having given me this opportunity to be with you all today. It's been a very interesting meet with a lot of spirited audience looking at the chief ministers who are vying with each other to get their share of investments from you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nirmala ji, and I can assure you from the business as well as the CII that we will be proactive as far as investment is concerned. Can I request Richard to give the vote of thanks?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Like all good things need to come to an end. I think if investors were sitting with a check, they would have gone to Punjab to make the investment. I think the Deputy Chief Minister made a very powerful appeal. You know, the point which is more important is today the leaders of the states are becoming like corporate leaders there to attend have taken, and the state he needs to invest. I think it's time the states realize this and get it. I think if you ask me, when we talk of Invest North, I think it should be Reinvest North. North was always a leader. North needs to look to see how to get it back. Now that the two leaders are here, the one request I can make is that with today's new world, it requires new rules. You can't continue running business with the old rules. The internet technology is overtaken everything else. I think today the world is of startups, and India has got the demographic dividend of the youth who actually are out there with their technology. Maybe if you can create an ecosystem allowing these startups to come and thrive and create a kind of platform, the kind of business that they can generate. You take any big company which is there in the US today, they all started in a garage. They started as a startup. Either they were founded in Stanford University or they were founded in somebody's garage, but they went on. And I think we need to look at some of those companies that can grow and can do in manufacturing, not just in IT. I think that is one area. We heard about the landlocked issue of North. I think it was a big issue, but now with the Delhi-Mumbai, the dedicated freight corridors that are coming in 2018, I think we will see, because India is the most expensive place for logistics. It's the biggest challenge. And we heard Mr. Shri Badal talk about electricity being so cheap. And today, let me tell you, in any equation, when people look at it, it's no more labor. Labor is not an equation. Power is a big equation. And if you can give power cheap, I think you're going to attract a lot of investors. Capital, power, land. These are the three important things that investors look at. And if you have got it right, I think you will get the investors that are there. I think the positive sentiments in the economy that is there, that is for India as such, there are countries which in 2 years have changed their World Bank ranking by 40 places. I think India can do it. There are small tweakings to be done, small changes to be done, and I'm sure we can get there. So I think we have got a lot to cheer about. We have got all the advantages. Which other country or region has 400 million people? The northern region has about 400 million people. I mean, anybody who's in a B2C needs to look at this market and say, what do I do with this market? To conclude, I would like to thank Shri Nirmala Sitharaman, the Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Government of India, for taking out such a long time out of a busy schedule and being with this, I would say, unique opportunity. In West North, nowhere in the country you have any other invest of a region. Everywhere it's a particular state. So it's very unique. I would also like to thank the DIPP and the officials for partnering with this conference and all the support that they have provided. My sincere thanks to Shri Manohar Lal ji, who in a very soft way put out his points that, you know, Haryana is the place which has got all the industry, which has got all the kind of outlet. And when we look at all that cyber hub and that whole thing that has been created in Gurgaon, you really feel proud that you are part of India. And of course, my thanks to Shri Sukhbir Singh Badal. Punjab is the land of 5 rivers. But today we heard it's a golden opportunity, single window clearance. I think he said it many times. I've seen it. I've gone there. I've met the CEO of Invest Punjab there. And I think it's a fantastic initiative taken, something to be truly proud of the state. When leaders always lead from the front, others follow. And that's what leadership is all about. Also, my sincere thanks to all the dignitaries who have come here, all you ladies and gentlemen, the press, captains of industry who have come here. I would also like to thank all the sponsors, of course DIPP once again, partner states, Delhi, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand for their support in making this conference really successful. It's the 4th edition and it looks the best edition. I would now request all the participants to remain seated. We have overshot our time. We will start with the next state session immediately after this. And I would also request the dignitaries to proceed for the inauguration of the ribbon cutting of the exposition now. Thank you very much.